Thank you for the opportunity to briefly showcase the exciting transformation in the Byron Middle School Media Center. First, I'd like to tell you about the Media Center space, then I'll tell you about Media Center recent activity. Allow me to give you a virtual tour of the Media Center. It is no longer one big, quiet room full of books. The room is still big, and there are still books along the walls, but quiet is no longer the adjective of choice. It is a space jumping with activity in multiple areas I'll call zones. The two busiest zones are the green screen room and the makerspace area. The green screen room is a room that was formerly locked storage space. It was mostly emptied and converted to a quiet room dedicated for filming. The makerspace area is a place where there were formerly bookshelves. We relocated the books, and now there are tables with seating for 38 and shelves with equipment and supplies for creative endeavors. Students can gather, discuss, and collaborate. Simply move the tables, and it is a multi-purpose place. A third zone is a lab area of 52 desktop computers. The North Cove of the Media Center is a fourth zone. It contains fiction books, a few computers, and tables for studying. It will contain more comfortable chairs. It is meant to be a quieter area. A sense of community is established throughout the Media Center through bulletin boards with pertinent information and posting of Bear of the Week, a whiteboard to engage student responses, and sharing of supplies. I told you about Media Center space. Now I'll tell you about Media Center activity. I'm going to tell you about recent patronage of the Byron Middle School Media Center, introduce the makerspace, and share data about book circulation. You will recognize how Bear's language traits are visible in students using the Media Center. The recent patronage of the Byron Middle School Media Center demonstrates a sense of belonging by students. In the makerspace, students are actively learning and engaging with each other. Book circulation is encouraging, evidence of educated and active learners. The Byron Middle School Media Center is the place to be. On September 23rd, Mr. Like and I launched the use of an iPad to have students sign in when they visit the Media Center. They input data to track Media Center usage. In 33 days of tracking, close to 3,000 visits to the Media Center have occurred. This is not including classrooms that come as a group of students or students coming for book returns. These are individual students. 40% of patrons are 5th graders, 30% 6th graders, 15% 7th graders, and 15% 8th graders. Why are these students visiting the Media Center? Traditional purposes of students visiting the Media Center, according to our fall data, are to check out books and read, problems with Infinite Campus or iPad, and to use the computers. This is a total of about 43% of the current visitors. Non-traditional purposes of students visiting are study hall, green screen, makerspace, and volunteering. These purposes are grouped together for two reasons. First, students are not familiar with the term makerspace and are often choosing other or study hall, but then proceed to use the makerspace. Second, although study hall is a traditional reason to visit the Media Center, students are rarely coming to the Media Center to study. They are in the Media Center during their study hall time, but they are engaging in makerspace activities. A clarification of terms with students will be helpful to generate more accurate data moving forward. So for non-traditional purposes of students visiting the Media Center, 57% are visiting the Media Center for non-traditional purposes. What is Makerspace? Makerspaces are places for hands-on creative activities where students can invent and learn. This is a new area of the Media Center and is in development. The green screen room is popular. Students are using iPads and the TouchCast app to film educational movies with themes like cellular structure, political campaigning, math demonstrations, and career pathways. Multiple students wanted to use the green screen at the same time. The solution to this problem was to paint walls green in 3 corridors of Byron Middle School. The makerspace has a donated Lego wall, some craft supplies, an electronic snap circuit, 2 Spheros and Ozobots. Spheros and Ozobots are tiny Tinker robots. Students can create games and do coding with Ozobots. Donated games and puzzles. There has been a trial of a 3D printer. Students designed Byron keychains. Students sold $135 worth of keychains. The proceeds will be used for filament, which is like the ink of a 3D printer. Students have a wish list of what they could make with a 3D printer. Mr. Swanson explained the benefits of Makerspace in the Byron Middle School newsletter recently. He said, "These spaces really help our children apply, create, and synthesize knowledge and turn it into true learning experiences. It is great to watch Byron Middle School students own their learning and tie it to real-world skills like communicating and collaborating with their teammates." My comment is that the communicating and collaborating required while using Makerspace is an opportunity to sharpen skills of being respectful and selfless. As popular as Makerspace has been, books are still relevant. Book circulation has been impressive. 939 books have been checked out this fall. In 33 days, the number of books that have been checked out is 60% of last year's total number of books. Students are often requesting books that need to be borrowed from outside resources. You can do your own research about the value of reading a book on paper versus reading on a device. Remember, these savvy Byron Middle School students are using iPads or devices during school to do homework and recreationally. Having a paper book as a single focus, non-glaring vehicle of literacy is a healthy option for students. The books in the Byron Middle School Media Center need some weeding and some updating. What do we want to grow toward? The Makerspace in the Byron Middle School Media Center is in its early infancy, a phase of exposure. Moving forward, we want to familiarize teachers with a space and equipment and let staff dream of Makerspace integration potential. For example, we envision teachers reserving space and equipment to incorporate into their curriculum. Once the vision is established, we will know how to better arrange the physical space and manage resources. You can visit the Byron Middle School Media Center website to see photos of students using the space in ways that demonstrate, learn, share, innovate, and inspire. In addition, Mr. Like and I invite you to personally visit. Come and see how the Byron Middle School Media Center is transforming into a hub of the student community.